Welcome to AImpactful. Today we will talk about ethics and AI. Our guest is Katja Rausch, founder of House of Ethics. Welcome, Katja.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation. So I'm very much looking forward to our exchange.
Can you share with us the story behind the House of Ethics? How did it all start?
The House of Ethics is a post-pandemic baby. So for many people around the world, a lot of things changed. So I previously was a professor in Paris in information systems and data ethics. And after the pandemic, after teaching 15 years, I missed the ethical side in the, let's say, the management teaching. It's always very good about methods and systems, but you also need to know why you decide, how you decide, what's the purpose. So that was the reason behind the House of Ethics. Now, why House of Ethics? At the time, everybody was into laboratory of ethics, institute of ethics, academia of ethics. And I chose the very modest House of Ethics. And why? Because, ethics is the rawest form of us. And where are we the most authentic? It's at home. That's where our values and our principles are safe. And where we voice it in our own style. We are not formatted at home. And that's why it was very important for me to call it House of Ethics, because everybody's welcomed. I want it pluricultural and multidisciplinary. And so far, I think we did rather well. People like it quite a lot because there is this inclusive side and the democratizing side of ethics, which I like a lot to share, to talk. That's why I'm very happy today to talk with you.
When someone visits your website, they will see that you emphasize not using AI for content creation. Why did you make this decision?
So that decision, which was not a superficial decision, the decision was grounded, first of all, in my background. As very few people who call themselves ethicists, I have a technical background. I've been teaching 12 years information systems. So I know what databases are about. I know what a relational database is. I know what data centers are, what data lakes are. I know about profiling. I know about slicing and dicing. So I know about data. And when I saw the model transformer models, which is a very a different kind of artificial intelligence. My first question went into where do they get the data from? And when I saw, because of course we researched, that was in November 2022. So before we made that decision within the House of Ethics. And when I saw that it was an industry scale data theft, IP violations that we now speak about, if something unethical does not sound good to me, I don't use it. So data was the first thing. And then the second reflection was in regards to our business. We are the House of Ethics. So these technologies are general purpose technologies. Are they fit for critical thinking? Are they fit for judgments? Are they fit with accuracy for helping people make like moral decisions sometimes? And our question is no, because the technology is not reliable for that. So, and then of course we heard about the hallucinations. We heard about people getting cited for things they never did or never wrote. So even though in the first month everybody was jumping on generative AI and they were bragging, we use it. And then now they all retract and say, no, it's just not reliable. We need to find like a fine-tuned version of it, or with our proprietary data and, confidentiality. And the third reason is simply the equilibrium. Right now, we see that people use generative AI for just everything, for writing. We see it on LinkedIn. You don't even need to write your posts anymore. I'm a firm believer in efforts and in our brain, in the human brain, and in originality. And generative AI, especially what we see with OpenAI, with Bing, these are not search engines. These are response engines. They give you one response and that's it. And I'm against the one-sided thinking. So the critical thinking part for me is extremely important. And so that was the reason behind the contributors don't use it. We write in our words because I like personal styles of people. I just like it because we are so many out there and everybody ticks with something else. So let's keep that up.
Your basic idea is to discuss complex topics in a simple way.
I think the harder or the more complex issues are, the easier or the clearer your words and your thinking has to be. And if you write in an academic style or lawyers in their own style, administrative styles, the style overshadows the thinking because people who read it don't really understand what is meant. And for me, the reader comes first, the one I'm talking to. I do really care about that the person understands what I want to say. And that's why I encourage everybody who is contributing to the House of Ethics to use their own words, their own styles, because then they are authentic and they make themselves extremely clear, not only with the words, but also with their thinking method. And in ethics, because ethics is such an important part in our daily life, not just business. So you need to resonate, you need to make yourself understand. And that's why I think keeping your own style is more important than footnotes about quotes and showing off who you know and what you have read. Instead, say it clearly what you think and help the other one to maybe share and to develop or progress if the other person wants it. That's my view, at least.
We're talking about AI and ethics. Could you explain what AI ethics means?
There is a difference between ethics and AI ethics because ethics per se is an actionable philosophy. When we talk about AI ethics, it's applied ethics to a field, to artificial intelligence. Like bioethics is applied ethics to biology. So that's the first important difference, that you switch from one philosophical, abstract thinking to a practical application within a discipline. What does that mean? It means that concepts like responsibility, concepts like fairness, concepts like equity, they pop up because you make decisions. Once you act within your professional field, you have to make decisions, otherwise, you don't move. And that's why AI ethics, so ethics applied to artificial intelligence, is the intersection of technology and humanities. And it is so important because right now it just impacts all of us, and not just as a product, but as a system. And that's important.
The ethical use of data is one of the most important topics at the moment.
Well, data per se is raw. Data per se, if you don't use your brain, your data doesn't tell you anything. You have to interpret your data. You have to analyze your data. That's how, and that was a very famous marketing use case, Walmart and the diapers in marketing at that time, digital marketing, and because they try to find out why on Thursday the diapers at Walmart were always sold out, and the database just showed the figures, but the brain needed to interpret what was behind. Behind was the fact that those who went to the groceries were men. They always bought together diapers and beer because on Fridays were the football games. And that was a tendency. They read through the data. So you have your raw data, you have to interpret it to get information. And eventually, after information, you will have your knowledge. And it's upon your knowledge that you will make decisions. You Figures per se, not contextualized, not interpreted, are useless. There would be no artificial intelligence without data. Artificial intelligence is based on big data, is based on algorithms. And without that, we wouldn't have all of this. So data is really the essence of all of this. So we need to have a closer look at that. We cannot just say, "Oh, that's okay." No, we need quality data. We need integrity with data. We need transparency. We need explainability. That's all we need.
What are some of the main challenges in this field right now?
They tell us if you don't do it right now, you miss the train, and you will you go your business, you will miss that only chance. Or even for workers, if you don't use it, you will be your skills won't suffice. Somebody who is not using generative AI won't be there in the next 10 years. Fear of missing out. So many people just do something which is totally useless sometimes, and even counterproductive, at least not as productive as imagined. So I think how to challenge that is by staying grounded. Just stay grounded. Just use your just think, breathe, and think, and relax, and think, and say, do we really need that? What is our objective for businesses? What do we want? What is our product? What does it miss? Can it be bridged by generative AI or by normal AI or by traditional science or by. So this is what you need to do. You need, and that's why I think you need your brain more than ever. You need your brain more than ever, and you need your heart more than ever in these days.
What are the biggest concerns when looking into the future? What should we focus on?
I would say it's three levels. Well, two levels. Let's just stick to two levels. It's on the individual level, and so on the micro and macro level. Micro individual level, that we don't underestimate ourselves again, that we know what the qualities of our humanness is about, and that we see AI as a tool and not as an alter ego or a super ego. That's the first thing. The second thing is on the macro level. My big concern is that tech stopped to be tech. It became business and now politics. That's on the macro level. And again, on the other level, the human level, our level, is just not to get sucked up by all of that. To stand firm and know how fantastic it is to be a human, and to be to exchange together, that we are stronger and smarter and than what we have created, and not fall for the Pygmalion complex, that we fall in love with our creation and we destroy ourselves afterwards.
What are the ethical considerations that creators and users should keep in mind regarding the responsible use of AI?
Well, that's a very important question. The users, what should we think about? First of all, I think um, we should think about, do we need it? the purpose. Why do we need it? Why do we use it? Because the implications behind are quite large. Not just on a cognitive side, not just on a business side, but also now on an ecological side. We know that using this kind of technology damages irrevocably our planet. So, do we really need to generate 10 images per minute for fun? Just today, I saw DALI the playbook. It's a guide to DALI to generating and prompting, but the playbook. Do we really need that? Mm? I think, and to make it clearer, is the individual responsibility. I think is paramount. It's not just always pointing at the bad ones in Silicon Valley. We should also have a closer and more critical look at ourselves. Individual responsibility. That's the first thing. And then I like the idea of, and that's about ethics actually, because ethics is okay, it's about me, it's my values, but ethics is also the interaction with others. Because on an island alone, you don't need ethics. You need ethics once you interact with people. So the idea of, and we call it do ut des, you do for what, for that for that you do too, which is a give and take. So you should be clear about the reciprocity of what you do. It's not just a single silo act. And most people don't really think about it like that. So I think the interaction, the social responsibilities, the individual responsibilities, which lead us to dilemmas sometimes. That is right now, people say, no, but you should use it, otherwise you are missing the wagon. So it's the FOMO, the fear of missing out. But on my side, I say think about purpose first, and then think about equilibrium. Is it really something that helps you to get where you want? Or do you really need it 100%? Or maybe you need it like 20% or 17%. And right now, everybody is just jumping into it. And so maybe be grounded a little bit more and not that euphoric.
How can we improve in the field of responsible AI usage?
I think we just should try to be the best possible version of ourselves, whatever we do, and be vigilant about those who don't care too much about others. Well, maybe that's a message to help others and be vigilant about those who have self-serving ethical objectives.
What are the plans for House of Ethics?
We at the House of Ethics, we have developed a novel approach to ethics, which is collective ethics, which is very different, and it's called swarm ethics, so collective intelligence and a horizontal approach. That's what I have been talking about all the in our interview. So um, with this kind of novel approach right now, we are in discussion with a major uh, university. I cannot yet say which one, to integrate our concept, which stands at the crossroad of anthropology, complex systems, and digital technology, to integrate it in the syllabus as a novel approach to tech, the dialogue between tech and humanities. So the next one we will probably partner with is about empowering the individual in our high-tech society. And the founder of the company, which is also non-profit, is a very high-level lawyer and activist also professor at universities, has multiple cascades. So, and we will together, we will use swarm ethics as a use case in developing educational frameworks for empowering people. So that's quite a challenge. And then we have also our do des, which is cyber ethics, cybersecurity, but from a cyber intelligence approach, not just, once again, a systemic approach, not just the privacy and the talk we always have, but it is also about business intelligence. It is about people intelligence. It is about, of course, cyber intelligence, but it is more comprehensive in order to talk about shared grids of responsibilities. That's our latest project we are working on. And we are absolutely open right now to greet associates, to uh, to span the net of what we do. And so far we have like 10 people who are highly interested in every country. So that's also something that's moving nicely along. And of course, that will be the future. Who knows what's gonna come? Always very much looking forward to it. And the new is feeding us, and that's how it should be.
Thank you, Katja.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
You have watched another episode of Impactful. See you next week.